The Marvels. I didn't get a chance to see the Marvels early. A lot of my friends got to see it early. Not a lot of them, two. And everybody was like, oh man, the Marvels, it sucked. It was the worst Marvel movie of all time. It had too much of this, too little of that. I can't believe they did this. Why was this going on? I didn't like it. Can't wait for the next one. I don't understand why everybody's taking shots at Marvel. I mean, their worst movie is still better received than the average movie. Now, to be honest, there are some Marvel movies that are really, really good. And there are some Marvel movies that are like, it was okay. So the way I think people are perceiving the Marvel movies is, they have that memory of when they were 8 years old and their grandma took them to the fair and they had popcorn and ice cream and chiclets and whatever else. They had a great time. That's their favorite Marvel movie. Now they're adults and they're with their wife, their husband, their girlfriend, their boyfriend, whomever. And they go out and they have a really good time. They see a movie, they have dinner, they go back, they sit, I don't know what you do. You kick up your feet in front of the fire or, whatever. It's a good day. But during that good day, you're thinking about that time that grandma took you out. And that was your favorite time. Let me tell you, you're probably never going back to a time like that with grandma. Grandma was the coolest. And now you're having a good life. But you still remember that one day, so that ruins everything else. If you compare the rest of your life to the best day of your life, the rest of your life is not going to be great. It's going to be second at best to the best day of your life. Let it go, bro. And not like 10 people I know, like 40 people I know that talk to me, on social media, in real time, on the phone. People text me and call me, hey man, did you see that movie? Tell me about it. What did you think? I get that phone call, seriously, twice a week. Twice a week. I get that text message 5 times a week. I get the social media, the DM or whatever. I get that almost every day. And it's the same response. Dude, let it go. It's a good movie. Watch the movie. Enjoy the movie. Don't compare it to Captain America. Don't compare it to Endgame. Don't compare it to the best Batman movie you ever seen. Don't do that to yourself, man. Just enjoy the movie, man. It's a good movie. Just enjoy it. And this movie was a good movie. This movie was not That Time with Grandma. It was not. It's not going to be that. But it was a good time. Sat down, had a meal, enjoyed myself, had, joked around with friends. Was out on the beach with a bonfire. I don't go out on the beach with bonfires. But maybe you do. It was a good time. Good time had by all. I will say this. Marvel has produced comedies. Marvel has produced buddy movies. Marvel has produced quasi-horrors. This was kind of a chick flick. And there's nothing wrong with that, It's kind of a chick flick. There's a lot of hugging. There's a lot of crying. But, they killed a lot of aliens and stuff blew up, and I kind of dig that. You know, people got punched in the face a lot. There were monsters and aliens. You know, Nick Fury shot people, and it was good. They had the dynamic where Kamala's family seems to be an intricate part of her superhero identity, and that was kind of cool. So what happens is they hint that the daughter of Ronan, they never say it, but they kind of hint it at one point, that she was witness to Carol Danvers showing up in her Captain Marvel thing and giving them the what for, you know. And she was there when Captain Marvel, because remember she said, tell the Kree I'm coming, you know, I'm bringing that business. So she came there and she was blowing stuff up, she was destroying stuff, she was blasting ships. And honestly, she's the number one, number two strongest person in Marvel right now. And there's nobody that's going to pretty much knuckle up with her unless, you know, they got an extra power boost of some sort. But so she was just running through ships, destroying cities. She was just wrecking the joint. And the villain meets her in a hallway, and she just casually beats that chick too and just continues on her way. Now for Carol Danvers, or even possibly people from Earth, she's the hero. She went in there and she was kicking butt for Earth, man. But there's been a lot of people throughout even Earth's history who consider themselves kicking butt for their country or their nation or their people. They weren't really heroes, you know what I mean? They were doing something for their people, but it was kind of bad for everybody else. That's pretty much how the Kree saw it. Because not all of them came to Earth tripping. Not all of them took Carol Danvers' memories. She was mad, and I can understand that. Not all of them, you know, attacked the Skrulls. Probably a lot of them, because, I mean, it's a military society. But she just came there and started wreaking havoc, not thinking about the elderly, the children, non-combatants, retirees. She didn't care. She was trying to whack everybody. And it left their main planet, Hala, you know, kind of beat down. Their water supply was drained. Their air supply was so bad that everybody had to wear masks for oxygen. Food, everything was just, you know, they were on the cusp of dying. And they figured, you know what, we gotta talk to the Skrulls, man. We gotta get with the Skrulls, and we gotta go on ahead and make an alliance. And right then I was thinking, oh, this could be the dawn of the Kree-Skrull War, which was a big event in comics. It still could be, I guess. But Carol Danvers showed up there, and they were like, oh, she attacked the Kree, and now she's with the Skrulls, so the Skrulls set us up. And they was like, no, we didn't do that. We don't know why she's here. And she messed everything up again. So they attacked the one of the last remaining outposts of the Skrulls. Their intention was to destroy everybody. And the villain finds out that she has the ability, you know, she gets one of the bangles, which they've decided to, I think they actually called them the Negabands. But it's a combination of the Quantum Band and the Negaband, two different bracelet type power sources from Marvel Comics. Everybody's got jewelry, everybody's got a necklace or a ring or a bracelet or whatever. And in this case, there's two different types of bracelets, Negabands, Quantum Bands. They kind of combined them together. So she's got one, and she found out that she can open up essentially wormholes wherever she wants, and she can control it. So she opens one up, and she steals all the oxygen from one planet. And she's like, oh, I like this. And she goes someplace else, fighting Captain Marvel, along the way, and she decides she's going to steal the water from another planet. So Captain Marvel has to fight her, but when she activates her band, Kamala Khan's band starts to react differently, and it connects Kamala with the other light-sourced superheroes who were near the the wormhole that they created, the jump portals. So Spectrum, Monica Rambeau was near one, and Carol Danvers was near one. Their powers are similar. It was connected through the band, and they become entangled. So when one of them uses their power, she switches places with a different one. So I use my power to disappear, and a different guy is standing where I'm at. Like that. So they've got to figure out how to use their powers in unison. So that if one person uses their power and disappears, it's okay because that other person's there. Maybe not do this in space because Kamala Khan can't breathe in space, and maybe not do it underwater, because Kamala Khan can't breathe underwater. But Captain Marvel, and I'm pretty sure they're going to call her either Photon or Spectrum. During the movie, Kamala said Cosmic Rod, which is a weapon used by another villain. She said Spectrum, she says Photon, and she says Captain Marvel. Oh no, that's being used. And she says like all of these different names, Spectrum, she says all of these names that are references to comic book things throughout the movie. And every time she does it, I'm like, whoop, 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 whoop. Every time she did it, there was people in the theater, nobody got it, but I got it. It was cool. But so they've got to work their way through their entanglement, get to the villain, defeat the villain, and get the Negaband back. That's essentially the story. Seems like I told you a lot of it, but I've told you only like the tip of the story. I haven't told you a lot. Then now this part, it's a little spoilery, so be advised. A spoiler starts now. Spectrum, Monica Rambeau, gets pulled over through another dimension, through one of the dimensional holes that the woman created. For some reason, it was a huge one. I guess because she was going to try to pull a sun through it. And it was a huge one. And they're like, that's a whole nother dimension that she's pulled that through. How they knew that, I don't know. I consider myself a fairly smart guy. If a hole popped up in the sky and it was black, I'd probably think, oh, it's a black hole. But if a different hole popped up in the sky and it was black also, I wouldn't look and say, that's oddly different. I think that's another dimension. I don't know how they knew that, but they knew it. And they're like, oh, it's another dimension, man. And, I got to close it. So one of them had to go. Monica goes, she closes it, and she ends up in the mutant universe. She encounters mutants, man. Well, at least one. There's a mention of other ones. She encounters Beast, played by Kelsey Grammer, which is super cool. And he mentions Charles, who couldn't be anybody but Xavier. And she's sitting with who in our universe would have been her mother, but she's binary in that universe. Binary is a more powerful, binary is the upgrade for Captain Marvel. Like you've got Bruce Banner. When he hulks out, he becomes the Hulk. Binary is essentially the Hulk for Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel is crazy powerful, but binary is probably at least 5 times more powerful. She's way more powerful. But it's her. It's like when she absorbs so much energy that she can just do more. That's her binary form. And they're calling the woman who would have been Monica's mom in their universe, they're calling her binary. So I'm like, well, she's already achieved her thing. And if she's with the X-Men and they're calling her binary, I'm thinking, okay, well, binary left the X-Men and went out with the Starjammers, who are a group of heroes-ish, pirates kind of. Think about Captain Jack Sparrow in space with superpowers. So Corsair is the leader of that group, and his three sons are the Summers boys, Havoc, Vulcan, and Cyclops. And they're incredibly powerful. So I'm thinking that she joins that team. She leaves the X-Men, she leaves with, the Starjammers. So she's, maybe might be hinting towards them also, which opens up a floodgate of things with the X-Men and the Starjammers. I mean, different aliens, I would like to see some of those aliens come to Earth. How are they going to do that? There's so many. That also opens the doorway to at least two different Superman clones that Marvel has. At least two of them. That ought to be good. I want to know what they're going to do. Oh, there's so much. There's so much that they can do. They can do another 20 years off of just opening the doorway for the X-Men and all of their stories and all. Guardians of the Galaxy was good. Guardians of the Galaxy was a mid-range at best superhero team, and Starjammers was about the same place. I mean, they could make another Guardians of the Galaxy with Starjammers. Either way, I dug this movie. In fact, I dug this movie so much that I would give it wasn't the best, but I would give this movie 7 bags of popcorn. 7 bags of popcorn. Almost 8 because of all of the doorways that it leads to, but 7 bags of popcorn. And that's what I think. More importantly, what do you think? Now we had a chance to talk about this movie. Let's talk about it some more in the comments. And as always, if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.
Popcorn Passport.